All right, so I'm going to be honest. Mackenzie Dern is in a make or break situation. Watching Mackenzie Dern's career has been interesting because she has beaten a lot of good names, and it's not like she's just been a nobody in the UFC, but when it comes to really good strikers, Mariana Rodriguez, Jessica Andrade, Amanda Lemos, she's fallen short and proved, although she's kind of a gatekeeper status, she's not quite championship material. Like if I were to see her go against Zhang Weili, she would need a miracle to take Zhang to the ground because Mackenzie, she's relying specifically on her jiu-jitsu. Her takedowns and her wrestling aren't as good as they should be at this point. And she's obviously been in and out with striking coaches where you have seen her hands regress. And I think that she's kind of painted herself in this corner as a professional fighter. Just my honest opinion. I don't say this to trash fighters. I say this just because these kind of things happen. When you switch up coaches this many times, it goes down. You know what I'm talking about? And, with Lupita, this is the thing. Lupita's last fight was against Vierna, who also beat Amanda Lemos by a submission. But Vierna beat Lupi. But this is Vierna 2.0. The Vierna that fought Mackenzie Dern was Vierna 1.0. But since then, I think that loss has lit a fire under her where if we see Vierna and Mackenzie run it back in any way, shape, or form, I feel like Vierna wins. And maybe even on the ground, too, just because what I'm seeing from this woman is otherworldly. It's like most improved, but doesn't get a whole lot of attention because not much of a trash talker. But yeah, Lupi lost to Vierna. But that's no shame in losing to Vierna, especially with just what she's done. So Lupi was able to go the distance with Vierna. So what do you think's going to happen when Mackenzie Dern goes in there? The answer is I don't know. I feel like this fight's going to go either way, but just based on the lack of evolution from Mackenzie Dern, I'm putting Mackenzie Dern as a slight underdog. And that's why I'm saying she needs to evolve if she wants to go anywhere else. Because otherwise, what if Lupi beats Mackenzie Dern? Someone with a lot of hype behind them loses to someone with no hype behind them. Lupi's going to hijack that hype train if she wins. So, honestly, this is make or break. And obviously, all the legwork leading up to this fight has already been done. We're 2 days out. And I'm hoping that Mackenzie Dern's corner consists of more consistent coaches because the only one who's been consistent with Mackenzie is her own father, Megaton, and obviously that's good. You should keep Megaton in your corner because Megaton Diaz and his grappling coaching, definitely world class. Guy's a stud. Guy's been in the jiu-jitsu circuits, and he's a big name. The guy is a beast. So if you want to take grappling advice, you're lucky to have that guy as your dad. But she needs a consistent striker. She needs a consistent wrestling coach, too. All that could concoct into one gigantic ultra fighter, but it hasn't, and that's where I'm worried. So maybe we're going to see a rabbit be pulled out of a hat. But Mackenzie Dern needs that rabbit pulled out of a hat if she wants to progress in the UFC any further, because if things continue to go the way they are, where things kind of just seem very inconsistent in the striking realm, we're probably going to see her out the door very soon. We're going to start to see a very quick turnaround in Mackenzie Dern's tail, and I really don't want to see that because every time a jiu-jitsu specialist goes into the UFC, I cross my fingers. Jiu-jitsu has a very questionable reputation in the UFC. Now, obviously, we had Charles Oliveira as champion for a long time. We have a lot of good grapplers who implement good jiu-jitsu game into their MMA game. But Mackenzie Dern has basically stayed as a specialist when it comes to jiu-jitsu. And we all saw what Kron Gracie did, and his story didn't end well. So I don't like to see jiu-jitsu reps end up like how Kron did. And we don't want jiu-jitsu to have that reputation, and it's sad because jiu-jitsu was the martial art that made MMA. So I know times are changing and people have figured out jiu-jitsu, but I want to see jiu-jitsu evolve in MMA with the rest of the game. But that's all I got to say. I have Mackenzie Dern as an underdog, but I'm really hoping she gets a W and gets back some momentum and gets good coaches that are very consistent, and she continues to evolve as a fighter. Because I want to see her succeed. Peace out.